Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to the Around the World with Boris Volume 1 Sample Pack Breakdown. If you're watching this video, it means you're probably interested in hearing more about what's inside the pack, so I'm going to be walking through everything that you'll get if you purchase this sample pack, all the files, and just going over what's included. So without further ado, let's begin. So when you first download the pack, this is what you're going to see when you open up the folder. There's 20 folders in here. In total, I think there's about 524 samples in total, or 524 audio files in total, I should say. There is over 300 loops and nearly 200 one-shots. I'm not going to play you every single sample in here, but I want to play at least one file from each folder so you guys get a taste of what is inside the pack. And we're going to start out with this instrument called a 4-chamber flute. Quite an interesting instrument, if I do say so myself. Very, very bizarre instrument. Most of the stuff in this pack is quite bizarre. Oh, before I jump into the next folder, let me just say real quick that these samples are divided into sort of two categories. There are percussion sounds and there are melodic sounds. A couple times there's melodic percussion sounds, but that is going to be the gist of what you'll find in here. So everything that is a percussion sound, I've labeled drum on the folder. So you can see the next folder we got here is the Bodran Drum. I apologize if I mispronounce any of these instruments. So yeah, we've got about 22 loops and we've got about 17 one-shots for this guy. I'll play you one of the loops. Very interesting drum that was. Next, we got the buffalo drum. This was a really interesting instrument. It was very bassy, very subby. It was almost like a natural, I don't know. I'll just play it for you. Yeah, very, I don't know, it sounded like apocalyptic. Yeah, that one's, it's so subby. There's so much bass information in this drum. It's really interesting. Next, we got the Chekere. Now, or the Chekere. Again, don't come at me for these pronunciations, please. But anyways, this is the Chekere. I called it a drum. It's not actually a drum, but that was just to help sort of split up these two different categories. So this is one of the Chekere loops. Yeah, that's a really cool percussion instrument. And next we got the Digiridoo. So for this guy, I wanted to record some long one-shots. So we got about 7 of those. Yes, there's one called a fart. And then Boris wanted to play the Digiridoo in some interesting different rhythmic ways. So I have some loops of that in there. So let me play some of these for you. This is the one-shot number 7, fart. This is the Digiridoo loop number 5. Next, we got the Doira Drum. We got about 14 loops for this guy and about 17 one-shots. Let me play some of these one-shots for you. Ooh. Nice. Next, we have the Doumbek. I love this drum. About 26 loops of this guy. And we have about 30 one-shots. Let me play some of the loops for you. Some really cool stuff in there. Next, we have Duduk, and we got about 12 phrases of this one, as well as about 6 melodic one-shots where you can put those into your like samplers and that kind of thing like that. Here's another one of the one shots. This is one shot number 4. I'm going to come to the extras at the end of the video. First, let me show you guys the gong. So this is the first instrument we recorded of the day. It was just, I don't know, it kind of set the tone in a way. These are really long audio samples, so I'm not going to play all of them there for you, but you guys get the gist. Next, we got the log drum. This is a really cool instrument. Let me play you guys some of what we got here. We got about 7 one-shots for this guy. Next, we got the mouth harp. And for this one, we have about 20 loops and about 10 one-shots. This one's a really cool instrument as well. Next, we got the ocarina. For this one, we got about 8 sort of melodic one-shots, we'll say, and about 7 phrases in a couple different keys there. I'll just give you guys an example of one of the phrases. And next we got the pan flute. And for this one, we got about 17 loops and about 10 different melodic one-shots. For this, I remember we tried to record like every single note that you could play, nearly every single note you could play on this particular pan flute. So let me play one of those for you guys, one of these one-shots here. And I'll play one of the loops as well. That is the pan flute. Next, we have the Sansula, which is also, this was a kalimba, but it had had an interesting body. It had a very resonant, hollow body. Anyways, I'll just play some of that for you guys. We got 7 loops for this one and about 11 different one-shots. So we got some nice clean notes you can just put into your instrument samplers. And here's one of the loops. Yeah, that is the Sansula. And shakers, this folder is just a bunch of different shakers that we recorded. We weren't discriminating. Boris has quite a lot of different weird like bones and seashells and some other interesting things that he's collected. So for this, there's about 34 loops there and about 13 one-shots with these different shaker sounds. I'll play some of the loops. Yeah, cool stuff there. Next, you guys, we have the singing bowls. And Boris has quite an impressive collection of singing bowls. For this, we ended up going for we didn't play them traditionally. Boris played them like a percussion instrument. So I'll just show you some of that here. We've got 19 loops of that and also 12 one-shots with some various sounds that these singing bowls produced. Let me just show you what's going on here. So some odd sounds there. And we have this Tilinka instrument. I'll play you one of the phrases here. Play one of the loops as well. So that's a Tilinka, you guys. That's an interesting sort of flute, a woodwind instrument there. And lastly, before I show you guys some of the extras, we have the tin whistle. And this one, we have about 12 different phrases as well as 3 one-shots. So that's the tin whistle. That's one of Boris's favorite instruments, or favorite flutes, rather, I should say. And lastly, you guys, I'll show you what's in the extras folder. So we got just some random Foley that I thought would be cool to include, as well as some samples of Boris's vocals. And these were not him trying to record phrases. I literally just snipped these from the recording because I thought they were funny. Yeah, let me just show you.
I start from low one. Guys, you need vibrato for these notes. Vibrato, maybe. A. A little bit more.
Anyways, those are just kind of a fun little thing to throw in there. And then lastly, we just have some Foley sounds, which I thought were worth including in the pack. And that is basically everything that's in the extras. All right, you guys, that about does it for the walkthrough for the Around the World with Boris Volume 1 sample pack. This pack is going to be available August 19th. You can find links to this pack in the description below. If you liked this video, please leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe if you want to hear more from me. Thank you guys so much. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.